So Project Faraday Cage, I went out and bought these 4x4 pine posts. So these are big chunky posts. These are going to be the base for the frame of the 4-poster bed. Then I cut them. Now our ceiling slopes. You can see how it slopes here. So what I have to do is these are going to be longer and the others are going to be shorter. So there's longer and shorter, and then I'm going to basically put some boards in between these to make the canopy portion of the frame, and then our bed canopy is going to go over the top of those. So this weekend I will be putting that together and putting the canopy over the bed, and I will show you all how that goes. So here's the bed canopy right here. I got this from shieldedhealing.com. That's Brian Hoyer, the world's best building biologist. And this is what it's going to look like. So it's got a little sheer to it so you can see through it. I've had it for a little while. I'm finally getting around to building my frame. And it's not super cheap. You know, I think I paid something like $1,600 for this. Now, I ordered way too much. I wanted to make sure I had plenty, and I definitely do. It's not up on Shielded Healing's website yet. Here's the Shielded Healing name and website. So I went on there and I bought this material, and if it's not up on the website, you can just email Brian. You can use code PrimalHacker to get a discount on anything on Shielded Healing, but email Brian, get your discount, and you can get your own. This is rated up to 5G, so it can handle up to 40 gigahertz. Remember, like 1, 2, 3, 4G only goes to about 6 gigahertz. 5G goes all the way up to 90 gigahertz. You want something like this. Hey, I thought this might be interesting for all of you to see the bed canopy here that we got from Shielded Healing at Brian Hoyer, so shieldedhealing.com. What I want to show you is the bed canopy is not 100% finished, but this is a microwave radiation meter, so I'm going to turn it on. We're going to see the level of microwaves in this room. And they're not awful. Now my phone is not on airplane mode at the moment, so as I bring this closer, it's going to go up. But what I want to show you is what happens when I get it into the bed canopy. So the canopy material, as you can see here, is sheer. It's see-through. You can see my hand here through this, so you can be in bed and see through that. I'm going to put this on the other side of the canopy. It's not wrapped up in the canopy. It's just on the other side. Listen to the noise. And now watch when I actually surround the meter with the canopy. There's almost no sound. There's no signal. I'm going to bring this phone over here. Look at that. The sheer canopy pretty much takes the microwave radiation down to 0. That's pretty phenomenal. So I'm going to take this out here. So I just took the meter out. You can hear it again. So here's the meter out of the bed canopy. So again, the closer it gets to my phone, because my phone is connected to Wi-Fi, the more radiation as it tries to ping the Wi-Fi router. I'm not actually using Wi-Fi right now, but it tries to ping the router every couple seconds. But again, I've got this canopy above me, so if I just go ahead and wrap this in the canopy, see if I can get it here, it's going to turn off completely. So right there, it's completely, now if I bring my phone really close, somewhat of a different story, but it still blocks that pretty well. So you can see the microwave radiation that's in the house from the Wi-Fi router right now, coming in through the window and the walls from the 4G towers. They're not close, but there are 4G towers around. This blocks it, this canopy. So you can see I'm inside the bed canopy, and you can kind of see how I structured it. I just took 4x4 pine posts because, you know, how am I going to hang this canopy? That was kind of my main issue. Let me turn off this microwave meter. My main issue is how to hang the canopy. So I took these 4x4 posts here, and then I took 6x1s, 1x6, and I made kind of like a little bed frame. Now, the problem was I couldn't do 4 posts. I could only do 3 because the ceiling height over here is way too low. You can kind of see probably here where the ceiling height drops. So I've got about 6.5 to 7 foot tall poles holding up this canopy, but I've only got about 4.5 to 5 feet in this corner over here. And so because of that, I could only do 3 posts, but because of the way I attach them with the 1x6s, they are freestanding. And then I put one bar, a 1x6 along the top. So that 1x6 along the top is able to drape this canopy over it. Now I've got to spend some time tomorrow and figure out how to get this canopy around the rest of the bed. So that's what I'm going to do, is get the canopy completely set up so the bed is completely covered. It's not a great idea to leave these openings in here, so if microwave radiation gets in, and then it's going to kind of bounce around in here until it can find its way out. It's not quite the same as like light in a mirror, but it's still not ideal to leave those gaps to allow that radiation in. So we've got to fix this, and then I'm just going to show you real quick what I did to my kids' room, because I went out and bought a stainless steel sheet. So it's a sheet impregnated with stainless steel fibers. This is it right here. This is a stainless steel sheet. And you can see they've got bunk beds. So kind of pan back here. But I was able to just build the bunk beds a little taller and then put the sheet completely encompassing those bunk beds. Now you can't see through that sheet. So that's kind of the downside, is this is not see-through. But it does block all the radiation, and it makes it kind of darker at night, which is great. So continue to follow along as we fix our own EMF bed canopy. Okay, so this is the microwave radiation reading outside the bed canopy. We finally have the bed canopy in place. It's not sewn yet. We had to actually cut it. It was just the length of a bolt of fabric. It wasn't actually cut and sewn. So we've got it cut. Now we've got to get it sewn, but it is all in place. So again, we got the ceiling where it drops here, so we're gonna have to figure out how to suspend that from the ceiling. But the canopy is completely over the bed. There's the microwave radiation meter reading. You can see that better. And we're gonna go inside the bed and see if that changes.
It doesn't even
Okay, so we're inside the bed now. So you can see this is the frame we put together. Now we do not have anything guarding the bottom of the bed yet, so we're just surrounded the bed, but take a look at this. It's either registering nothing right now, no microwave radiation whatsoever in here, even without the bottom being covered yet. It's on, there's nothing showing up. So literally this see-through textile that we got from Shielded Healing at with Brian Hoyer. Again, it's not on his website yet. Now this is July 2019. It's not quite on the website yet, but you can email him and order it, even though it's not on the website. So look at this, like 2 hours worth of work here this morning, and already just to leave it this way without sewing it yet and without suspending it yet from the ceiling on this side of the bed, and we don't have any microwave radiation in our bed. That is a primal sleeping environment.
What about the Magnetico pad underneath?
So we may not need anything under our bed. So we've got, under our mattress is this Magnetico mattress pad. That's this guy right here. So this is some Magnetico mattress pad. It's under our regular mattress. It weighs a good almost 200 pounds, but it is filled. I'm pressing right here. It's filled with magnets, which are metal. So these magnets might be close enough together to block any radiation. Remember, metal blocks radiation, so it might be blocking the radiation coming from underneath us. So again, if we look and we hold this up at different parts of the bed, we go from no radiation to at the very edge, we're probably gonna get a little. And remember, this fabric is metal, so if you don't ground this fabric, we haven't grounded it yet. So if you touch this fabric, you might get a charge transfer if it's building up charge. So what we have to do is get an alligator clip, and we're going to send it out that window on shielded speaker wire, shielded copper speaker wire out the window, and I already have an 8-foot copper grounding rod sunk into the ground outside. It's going to go out that window, and it's just going to alligator clip right here so that this is grounded. Any charge that builds up on this is then going to get sent out into the ground. Whoa. So that is amazing. So we're showing a little bit of radiation here, which is really, really, really minimal compared to what we see. Like, I'm just going to hold this outside the bed. So I'm just going to start sticking it out the bed. So it's just going out outside the bed here. Let's find the gap. I'm going to open it up. So look at that.
Oh my God.
Outside the bed, and now I'm going to come inside the bed. Now we're going to come into the bed. Whoa, look at that.
That's so cool.
That is amazing. What do you think of our primal healing sleeping environment, Heidi?
Oh, I can breathe in here. It's so cool. I love it.
There you go. Thanks, Brian Hoyer at Shielded Healing or shieldedhealing.com.
Thanks, Brian.
We've got it pretty much all set up. We've got to do some sewing. We should ground it, and then we have to suspend it from the ceiling with some command strips here on that side of the bed. Otherwise, we are looking really, really good. This reading is phenomenal.
I like how you say we have to sew it.
So Heidi's going to sew it. I sewed once when I was in like 4th grade. I sewed a pillow I made a skateboard.
You made
Pillow.
a skateboard.
Skateboard
I was
pillow.
like, you sewed a skateboard.
That's all the sewing I've done in my entire life.
Funny.
All right. Awesome. That is so cool.